Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. We're here today to bring our review for the brand new Marvel film Captain Marvel, a film that stars Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, we have Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, Ben Mendelsohn, we have Jude Law and Annette Bening making an appearance. Now this is the first Marvel film of the year. Last year it was Black Panther, which was universally praised. This one, however, seems to be getting a lot of criticism. So I was a little bit anxious about going to see this one. Have Marvel finally made a poor film? Have they delivered a bad movie? Well, after seeing it, I have to say personally, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Did you enjoy this film? Yeah. And what is this film about? Well, this film focuses on Brie Larson's character, Carol Danvers, who we see at the beginning of the film. She's on the Kree homeworld, and she's and she's under the tutelage of Jude Law's character. They set off on some mission. They're at war with the Skrulls. She's captured. They're trying to get some information out of her brain. She basically ends up on Earth then, which is a coincidence because she's been having these dreams of Earth, hasn't she, of her past life, but she doesn't know what it means. When she gets to Earth, she's introduced to Nick Fury, who's at the very beginnings of forming S.H.I.E.L.D., and they decide to team up, basically, don't they, to try and figure out why these Skrulls are on Earth, what the connection is and has to her character, and eventually she needs to figure out how she can unlock the potential of her own powers. So that's the basic story without any spoilers at all, and we're not going to try and do any spoilers with this review. I have to say, after watching this film, I kept thinking to myself, okay, why is this getting so much criticism? And I genuinely kept thinking that because I was really entertained by this film. Was you?
Yeah, it was quite confusing at the start. Like, everything happened in like really weird orders.
It did. From your perspective, you found it a bit confusing, and I did initially.
It all made sense by the end, though.
It does make sense by the end. I thought initially I was confused. I was thinking, well, aren't the Kree? They were the bad guys in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then but all the pieces kind of fit together. That kind of bit I didn't mind at all. But I think some of the criticisms that this film's getting is maybe a little bit unfounded, as I think sometimes people overanalyze films. I found this film highly entertaining. The CGI was excellent. The action was really, really good. My main criticism here of this film is I'm not exactly sure they gave Brie Larson, who is an Oscar-winning actress, enough to do with this character. I don't think they challenged her enough. But, you know, you could say about the same about many of these Marvel characters. Do they really challenge Robert Downey Jr. enough, who was a great actor? Probably not. And I think if this film had come out about the same time as the first Iron Man or the first Captain America, this would be lauded. I think this film, I agree that it might be a little bit late into the proceedings, just before Avengers, but other than that, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got the most awesome cat I've ever seen in cinema, Goose, in this film. I thought it was hilarious, didn't you? It was really funny, that, wasn't it? And I thought the humour worked for the most part. I liked Samuel L. Jackson in this. He was light-hearted. He was not as serious as he was in his other Nick Fury roles. That's probably because, you know, he's a bit younger in this. He's a bit more naive, a bit lighter. I thought the humour hit the mark, don't you?
They explain how he got his eye patch as well. But
yeah, that was a bit naff. But it was funny, but I'm not so sure it's what people would be hoping for in regards to how he, you know, doesn't exactly lose it in the thrusts of battle, shall we say, does he? You know? And it ties things up fairly nicely in the timeline. I'm not so sure. There's a couple of things. As a Tesseract makes an appearance, and I'm not sure how that fits into all the timeline. Because the Tesseract that they found in the Avengers, that was the one that Captain America dropped to the bottom of the ocean, wasn't it? So, well, I don't know. It gets a bit confusing.
Wait. No.
Yeah. I thought it was good. She kicked her ass, didn't she? She was really powerful when she gets her full powers and stuff. It's really fun to watch. I thought there was a reasonably nice twist as to who you think the enemies are. They're not the enemies, so they kind of twisted it a little bit. I appreciated that, did you?
Mm.
It's not overly complex or anything. It's not trying to be. It's a comic book superhero movie. I don't want a complex. You know, I don't want an overly complex superhero film. That's not what I want, really. I just want to be entertained, don't you? I don't want to be coming out of the cinema scratching my head, thinking I didn't not being able to figure things out.
She realising she never seemed to change, like, as a character. Like, so much happened to her, but she didn't seem to change at all.
There wasn't much of an arc in her character, really.
It was all like one thing.
Yeah, it was kind of emotional, the same throughout one. And this is what I mean by I don't think they challenged her
Like,
enough.
she didn't like. She was never Captain Marvel in the entire thing until the end. But once she became Captain Marvel, she still didn't seem like Captain Marvel. She just like.
She didn't seem.
You could tell she was Captain Marvel, but she didn't seem like Captain Marvel.
I guess that makes sense. And I think that comes from the script, in a sense of I just don't think they gave her enough to do. She's a very, very talented actress, clearly. She's an Oscar-winning actress. And I don't feel as though they gave her enough to do. They didn't challenge her enough. But, you know, it's a comic book superhero movie. Did I come out of the cinema entertained? Yes. Did you come out of the cinema entertained?
Yeah.
I think it's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp that I saw last year. But I'm not sure I'd put this in my top 10 favourite Marvel films. I think there are films worse than this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of them. Iron Man 2 is one of them. Incredible Hulk is another one. It's not right up there in regards to massive Marvel
not Avengers
films.
Infinity War.
It's not Avengers Infinity War. You know, it's not a Captain America Civil War. It's not Black Panther. It's not Thor Ragnarok. I think because they've been knocking it out of the park with these films for so long now. I can't remember, apart from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which wasn't bad, it just wasn't brilliant. They've been knocking it out of the park for a while now, Marvel, and this is, I suppose, a little tiny bit underwhelming, but really entertaining. I had a good time. So I'm going to give it myself, personally. I'm going to score this one an 8 out of 10. I enjoyed it, I'm not going to lie. What would you score it out of 10?
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10? So that's the two of us. We kind of felt the same when we watched this. So yeah, don't be put off by this, don't be put off by all the political stuff that's going around with this film. Just go and enjoy it for what it is, which is a Marvel comic book superhero film that ties nicely in and builds up nicely to Avengers Endgame, which is coming out next month, which we're really excited about, aren't we? Yeah? So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you next time on Screen Stars.